Now, wet wipes containing plastic will be banned later this year in the United Kingdom.
They've been blamed for clogging up waterways and spreading microplastics. It's so serious an issue that it's even changed the course of the River Thames.
That's because of a clump that grew to the size of 2 tennis courts. This isn't made up. TalkTV reporter Victoria Innes has gone to West London to find what's been dubbed, and this is ludicrous, Wet Wipe Island. Victoria, good morning.
Good morning, both. Well, look, let's start here with the scale of the problem, because around about 2.5 million wet wipes are flushed down the loo every year, and they contribute to around 300,000 blocked sewers. And when they're flushed and they go into our waterways, they affect water quality, they affect biodiversity, and they're really harmful to human health. Now, down here on the banks of the River Thames, as you say, things got so bad that it was got the nickname Wet Wipe Island, and that was because all of these wipes built up into a huge clump. Now, the water, as you can see, is quite high here at the moment, but as that level falls, you can see those wet wipes start to appear. And we know that people are really angry about it. Recently, there has been a lot of public anger over the state and the quality of our water. I mean, you remember just recently in that Oxford-Cambridge boat race, both teams on each side were told not to swallow any of the water that might splash up on their boats. Now, around about 35,000 wet wipes are used every year by people, and we spoke to people around here, especially those who lived in houses around this stretch of river where that wet wipe island existed, and they said that they were really concerned about the situation.
I mean, we've been living here for 22 years in barns, and the quality of water and everything else changed to the worse.
No, Thames Water, needs to be sort of held to account as well. We all need to do our part, the public as well as Thames Water and the authorities,
The government this week has banned wet wipes containing plastic, which obviously is a good thing. It's just one thing in many. What's your kind of take on that?
I think that's a great thing. I mean, anything we can do, and I'm aware now of the wet wipe problem, and if they're making it their way into our rivers and seas, then I'm all for a ban.
So look, what is this new legislation all about? Well, take these, for example. These are biodegradable, made from plant-based materials. So these wet wipes, while you still shouldn't flush them down the toilet, they are somewhat okay. And this is not what that law is about. The law is going to be about those wet wipes which contain plastic, which are really harmful to the quality of our water. Now, campaigners say, look, it's a really great thing. It's a step in the right direction. As you saw from those people we spoke to earlier, they're all for it. But it was first mentioned in 2018. It's now 6 years on from that first mention. And campaigners say in that time, millions and millions, hundreds of millions of pounds has been spent clearing our waterways and sewers of blockages. And so for that reason, they say the government needs to go much further. So while it is good overall, it may not be for the moment the glowing reviews as such that the government may have hoped for.
Well, thank you so much to Victoria Innes in West London there, live from Wet Wipe Island. It's gross. And also, surprises me, not a lot of people know that you shouldn't flush wet wipes or tampons or sanitary towels.
You had to say that word. There's something on the train. The train the other day, South West Trains, made me absolutely laugh. I went to the toilet and it said, please do not flush down here. And it said, wet wipes, sanitary ware, goldfish or your dreams, which I thought was great. To tell us more about what could be done to resolve an important issue, Libby Peake from the Green Alliance. Libby, good morning. This ban presumably centres on selling, OK? So is this going to be effective? How is it going to be policed, for want of a better choice of words?
Well, the government has been bringing in lots of different bans on single-use plastics, so this sort of continues that trend of people not being allowed to sell them. They can still manufacture them, and it'll be policed like the other bans. It'll be enforced by the sort of Trading Standards Agency to make sure these aren't on the market and available to the UK. But it definitely doesn't go far enough. I think, as you saw from everyone you interviewed earlier, it is a good thing. This is a major problem, and it's disgusting apart from anything else. But there's a lot more the government could have done to bring it in faster and make it more effective.
Libby, you're talking to two people here who have just separately had very young children. We've both got newborns. Wet wipes are an essential part of dealing with 3-month-olds.
Yeah.
I use a thing called cheeky wipes, which is like a kind of reusable wet wipe that we put in the washing machine. But I always think, I wonder if me washing these every day is actually using up more water and more resources than if I was to use a biodegradable wet wipe. What would you suggest for young parents, new parents?
I suppose that makes 3 of us. I've got a 2-year-old, so I've spent the past 2 years also using cheeky wipe and other reusable wipes. And I hope you've also seen that actually it isn't that hard. And if reusable nappies are getting easier and easier to use, and they are, reusable wipes are quite easy to use, and they are better for the environment. They're not going to cause any sort of problem by flushing them down the toilet. So I think one of the problems with so-called biodegradable wipes, or wipes that are made of semi-synthetic plastic, which aren't included in this ban, is that they still can cause blockages, and they should never be flushed. But labeling them as biodegradable sort of gives people the impression that they're okay, that unlike plastic, these are fine and they can be flushed. And a lot of environmental campaigners are worried that actually labeling them as biodegradable is going to make the problem worse.
It's quite misleading.
So definitely encouraging people like you, like Jeremy, to think about using reusable wipes is something that's missing from this approach so far, and would be a really good thing if the government could do more of.
And Libby, just really, really quickly, this has always fascinated me. I know in other cultures around the world, they throw away toilet tissue and toilet paper, whereas in this country, we very much flush it. How bad is that for the environment? You've got about 10 seconds.
Well, paper is fine according to the 3 Ps, which are what you should put down the toilet. Pee, poo and paper. Those are the 3 things that go in the toilet, absolutely nothing else.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Pee, poo and paper.
Libby Peake there from the Green Alliance. Pee, poo and paper, nothing else.